This is a bit of an unusual one for me. As some of you, I'm not in Dubai anymore. I'm currently in Tampa, Florida, and I've been out here exploring, having a look around, seeing what life is like out in the United States, and particularly in Tampa. And the reason why this is an unusual one for me is not just because I'm in Florida, but also this whole talk is me just spilling my thoughts whilst I'm driving in a Tesla on full self-driving. So you won't actually see me right now, which might not be a bad thing, but you'll be from behind and you'll be seeing the views as I drive along Bayshore Boulevard in Tampa. And for those of you who are wondering if I'm heading back to Dubai anytime soon, I'll let you know in this video. So whether you're interested in hearing what I've got to think about, Florida versus UK versus Dubai, or if you just want to come along for the drive and see what Bayshore Boulevard looks like, how the Tesla operates on full self-driving, then you're welcome. Feel free, come along. I'm going to switch to the video now, so bear with me. I might have repeated a few things. And just so you know, Tesla FSD is still in supervised mode. So where you see me get a little bit distracted sometimes, it's because I don't have 100% confidence in it, but I have about 99%. It's very good. I've been sat at this park for a little bit, just having a think. And it's very warm. I'm actually feeling a bit sleepy. Yeah, so we're going to go back to the apartment now, and I've got it set as the home. So we'll just go there. And yeah, I'm going to go back, chill out, freshen up, probably think about getting some dinner. Then I'm going to think about might be going for in the local area tonight to like just go and hang out at a bar or something. I may just watch a movie. I'm not sure yet. Depends how tired I am, I think. In any case, I was thinking about the Florida versus UK thing. Dubai's out of the picture. I'll still visit Dubai. I like Dubai. I'm not going to live there. It's not going to be a permanent place. I've always been a bit funny about investing my money out there, like too much money. So really for me, I think the realistic options for me, as far as I'm aware on this planet, in this life, it's going to either be the UK where I grew up, where I was born, or the United States somewhere. Florida seems like a good shout. It seems really nice here, and basically might as well drive while we're sat here. As you can see, there's like people behind, there's kids behind and stuff. This is the good thing about this car. It's got a 360 view, obviously. It can see everything at every time. Yeah, so let's go anyway. I really need to think about whether or not I want to do something, move here or stay in the UK. Now, the good and bad thing, I guess, in a way, about if I was to decide here's not going to be a quick thing. So here's going to require me to buy another business, and that doesn't necessarily take any longer or much longer than it would do back in the UK. But in terms of the financing side of things, because the SBA loan is no longer an option for me as a non-US citizen as of March 2026, an SBA loan is a small business administration loan where I think they'll value up to the government-backed loan up to 80% of the value of the business, which used to be available to foreigners too if they were like moving out here and stuff. But I think President Trump, or at least under his administration whilst he's been in, have made it only for American citizens, which means that someone like me, I can't leverage the money in the same way as easily as I may have been able to prior to March this year. And that means that I need to be thinking about having a lot more money available to buy the size of business I'd like to buy. So we'll see. But in any case, it's not going to be a quick thing. Like the visa processes can take a while. For me to get the B1 visa so that I can come over here to start looking properly for businesses and going through that buying process, negotiation and stuff, it would take a while just to find the business I want to buy. They're not just there everywhere available at the right terms and price and everything like that. That's going to take a while anyway, if I wanted to do that. And then obviously I need to have the money available. I need to have sufficient cash, which I don't have right now. I've been planning on selling my cleaning company anyway. There's a number of other assets that I can dispose of, like business assets, in terms of at least partly dispose of potentially to add to that. But I think I'm going to have to really think about how I'm going to make a bit more money, probably an extra $100,000 than I ever thought, maybe an extra $200,000 than I thought I would have needed before. And that's going to be so that I can leverage it. But nothing's ever a blocker on it, right? There's ways and means around most things. But I need to decide whether or not it is something I even want to do, because I don't know anyone out here. I don't have any network. I've got no family out here. My friend, potentially, when he comes back, then yes, it depends on where he's going to be staying. I think he's going to be a couple of hours away from this area, which is the areas that I'm looking in, that I'd be interested in staying in. Yeah, it's just one of them things where it's not as easy to... I guess it is an easy decision in a way, but I think that with the US, the difference between Dubai and the US is Dubai, it costs you a few £1,000s, a few $1,000. You can go and set up a business, you get your visa, you can just go and be out there. In the US, it's not as simple as that. You need to show more of a substantial investment. I can't remember the exact wording, but it's got to be a substantial investment, and obviously you've got to show that you're capable of sustaining yourself out here and stuff. I think one of the best ways is to buy a business. I'm not that keen on startups anyway, and I think if I was going to get another business, it would be to buy an already profitable existing business rather than start one up from scratch. Starting a business from scratch doesn't make sense, like for me. I've done a load of them and they're very hard. It's very hard to find your product market fit and get the business growing and get the staff right and get the training right and all that stuff. There's so much stuff to a business to get right that you can buy a business that's been operating for 30 years from an owner that's retiring and it's just properly established. But obviously it comes with its own risks. Look, it's something I need to think about, because I don't want to be wasting 2 years and then think about, oh yeah, I do want to come, and then it's going to be at least another year, maybe 18 months before I can make the move. I need to be making a decision now. And I think one of the things that's probably helpful in my mind is the fact that I'm already decided, regardless of anything to do with Florida or the United States, that I'm planning on selling my cleaning business. I've had that for, I think, 12, 13 years now. It's too long. I'm not interested in it. It needs some fresh blood in there that's going to really get engaged and take it on and grow it. It's got so much scope for growth. I leave it in sustained mode, like where it's not growing, it's not shrinking, it just stays as it is. And I've left it like that for the last 2-3 years because there's other things I'm more interested in doing. So I feel like that business is going to be great for someone who wants to start a business but is already profitable, is already making money, who's a bit smarter than I am, because I didn't do that. I bought a franchise from the beginning and it was a long journey to get it to profit, but we got there, and anyway it sustains me to do what I do, like now being out here in Florida. But I want to sell it, get some fresh blood in there that they can buy, that they can grow it, probably double or triple it or more potentially than what it is now, depending on the effort they're willing to put in. And I'll use that money towards an investment, whether that's an investment in Florida or that's an investment in the UK. I guess it doesn't really matter, because either way I'm planning on selling it. Now, my other little micro asset business that I have is the company setup. It used to be called Handler Zone. I changed it to Entry Expert. And that one, again, look, it's a minor asset, so I'm going to sell that off to someone, or I can just keep it. It doesn't make a ton of money. It's a shell ready to go. It's got a few clients. It makes, like, after costs and stuff, about probably £12,000 for about 16,000 US dollars a year. It's really a bolt on for someone just to buy the future profits if they want to buy it. And then I've also got my finance company shares that I own. I'm not looking to exit that, but potentially might sell some of them because that's still growing and that one could be big over time. But in any case, there's other things I need to think about, like how do I make another couple of $100,000 or pounds to put me in a position where I can move on a business out here and try and leverage my money as much as possible. Now, obviously in the UK, I can leverage it a lot more, because in the UK, I'm already established. I'm from there. I've got credit history and all that stuff. It's a lot easier for me to leverage money over there to buy a business. And that's one of the things I've been thinking of. Do I just spend the next 2 years, buy a business in the UK? It's not going to take me 2 years, but like I'm just saying, do I just take the next 2 years, do that, get that to profit where it's making it'll be profitable anyway. I'm not going to buy a loss-making business, but get that to a good profit level and then look to make the move. But then it's another year, and then before I know it, I'll be in my mid-40s, which would be crazy. So I'm only at my very beginning of the 40s here, but the time flies, man. Yeah, something I really need to think about, because I keep moving around. The last 3 years, I feel I haven't wasted it. I've met some good people out in Dubai, but there's not really been any gain for me going out there. Like, I didn't utilize the tax benefits because I spent more than 90 days a year in the UK in each of the tax years. I was going out to Dubai. So I was still paying UK tax. Plus I had the thousands of pounds that I was paying for the company and the visa to be open over there, plus my flights. Each time I'd do a round trip, it's about £3,000, probably about 4,000 US dollars per round trip. I was doing several a year. So I was spending a lot of money just to be out there. And a lot of it's avoidance of the UK, I think. Just the way that the UK is going, the way the economy is going, the general attitude and mood in the UK is quite, my perspective, it's quite anti-wealth, it's anti-business, it's becoming more of a socialist society, which I don't like, to be honest. I like growth, I like capitalism. I feel like that's made the world a better place overall. And I feel like I don't like the people who decide that through my work, they deserve more. Pay your fair share, so they say, whilst they sit on their butt and do nothing. But in any case, that aside, politics aside, I don't think the UK for me is probably a good move longer term. So it seems obvious, go for the US and plan for that and focus on that. And that might be the right answer, is to literally do that, is to literally just sit there and focus on the US. If I put 100% of my, 95% of my time and effort and energy, obviously I still need to offload, sell my other assets that I've got and whatever, but focus on the how do I make it happen so that I can buy a business in the United States, in Florida, and move out here. If that's something I really wanted to do, so far I'm massively leaning towards yes. And I don't think that's anything to do with honeymoon period here. I've not been doing touristy stuff or anything like that. I've been looking around, observing how people are living, people's attitudes, what they're doing, like their mindset, all that stuff. That's what I've been doing. I've not been doing touristy stuff in some like honeymoon sort of thing. I didn't come here with much expectation. I wasn't sure on what it would be like, but I'm very impressed. I feel like I could live here. It feels like home. Dubai's never felt like home for me. So it felt like somewhere I like to go. It hasn't felt like a home from home. Here feels very familiar. It feels like home. I guess it's just probably because British people are very familiar with, I don't know, probably grew up on all the American movies and all of that stuff, and I'm very familiar with it all. Common language, in many respects, common values and stuff like that. So look, I don't really know why. Frank Gay Services, what the fuck? Anyway, yeah. So that's why I'm leaning towards it. And look, FSD, we've got it. Like, we're lacking in the UK even with things like AI. The regulation in the UK for things like AI is backwards. Like, we're very slow. We're well behind. There's features out here in the US that they have that we just don't have in the UK and across Europe and Switzerland. For some reason, those countries seem to be behind the times. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on what I'm thinking about doing and the reasons why. Tell me what you think. Have you moved out to the States? Have you ever tried living out here? Have you moved to Florida? I was thinking about going down to Austin, Texas, something like that, to have a look down there. A lot of British entrepreneurs that I've followed in the past seem to have gone down that road. Austin seems like a big spot. California, not so much. But yeah, what do you think about it? Do you think it's something that I should do? Because the problem is, if you leave it too long, let me take you down. If you leave it too long, the problem is that time flies. And one of the biggest things for me, whether I come to Florida or I stay in the UK, wherever it is, about building a network with the type of people that I want to be more like, be around, who I want to socialize with, the growth-minded people, business owners, successful, wealthy people who are looking to get more out of life and looking to enjoy things. It's one of them things that I'm just in a bit of a pickle, but I've got time to think. Look, I'm buying a place at the moment, which I'll show you when it completes. I've been treating this place more like a base for the UK / future holiday home. It's somewhere that I'd keep regardless. I think it's affordable for me to keep it and not be in the country, if that makes sense, if that's what I did. Of course, at the moment, I plan on just living in it. It's going to be my permanent residence in the UK until I make a decision on what I'm doing. I'm leaning towards here, but there are more things I need to think about, particularly when it comes to network. But again, it might be just that thing. If I focus on it, applying as close to 100% as I can, on focusing on how do I make this happen. If it's something I decide to do, if I'm that against trying to do business in the UK, then how do I make that happen? Look at what my situation is. This is where I am today. This is where I need to get to. How do I close that gap down? That's what I need to be working on. And I feel like I should probably work on that as I was going to say a contingency, but it doesn't make sense, because then, your brain's in two thought processes. Your brain's in, do I buy a business in the UK? I already know what the landscape is for that in the UK. I know how it works. I know what the landscape is. I know how to get the finance that I need. I know where the accountants are. I know where the lawyers are, everything like that. I know that. I think the most important decision is UK or US. If it's US, how do I do it? And work that out and spend the time I need to be able to work that out, and then enact that plan so that I can make the money that I would need to be able to make a move here to buy a business that is big enough so that it can sustain me. It can sustain any debt that may be on it. So like vendor finance, seller finance, that's basically where the current owner will finance part of it for you. So you pay them over time. So you pay some money down, you pay that over time. If you can get bank finance, so it can finance enough money to finance the debt, enough money to be able to grow as well. There's no point buying a pre-existing business where after you've paid your living costs, and I'm not on about like luxury living costs, I'm on about just normal living costs, and you've paid your debt servicing and obviously all your costs, your staff and everything like that, that you're left with nothing at the end to be able to even grow the business. That doesn't make sense. There has to be enough in it, and the deal has to work in that way that allows for that, and obviously with taxes and everything like that. Yeah, that's me. That's where I'm at right now, and that is one of the things that I'm currently out here for. I've been out in Florida literally just to scope it out. I'm not here for tourist stuff. It's really weird, right? So when I go to countries, and that I'm not that interested in doing tourist stuff. I don't know why. I'm just not. I'm pretty much the same any country I go to. Me and my laptop, as long as I've got my laptop, I'm good. And my Kindle now, I'm good. I don't really have much interest in seeing all the touristy stuff. Although I do wander around some places, but I'd rather just chill like where the locals go, like where they go for their normal daily walks and stuff like that. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've been thinking about this yourself as a potential move for the future, for yourself. Have you done it before? Did you regret your decision? Would you have regretted your decision if you hadn't done it? Those are the things that are important, because one of my old colleagues from the police, he and his family moved out to Florida some years ago. They bought a house, they bought a business. They grew that business up. For their own reasons, they decided that they were going to be done with Florida and done with the US and move back to the UK and buy another business out in the UK and find a nice house out there. Within a couple of months of moving back, they changed their mind. And I think that's bold of them to be able to do that, to be able to say, no, look, we made a mistake. I got a message one day from him and he was like, I'm not investing my money here, literally just that. And I think he needed to see it for himself, like what the UK is like business-wise, the sort of socialist mentality, this anti-wealth mentality, this anti-growth and wealth policies, anti-small business policies that prevents you from growing. Obviously, it doesn't prevent everyone from growing, and some of that is mindset. If you're negative, then I guess you get a negative result. But anyway, he decided that no, he's going back. Him and his family, they're going back. They're heading back to Florida, I think next month. Sorry, July. I'm still towards the end of May right now, but July, they're going to be coming back. And they're going to be looking for another business to buy and another house to buy again. And they've only been gone a few months. And I think that's big of them to be able to turn around and say, look, we made a mistake for our family and we didn't realize how good we had it there and we're going to go back. because a lot of people, to save face, would still stay, or they might not even be able to financially do that move again. But yeah, good on them. Anyway, I'm out. I'm going to go inside because it's very hot. It's 36 degrees right now. It's very hot, and I'm at the apartment, so peace out.